Hello and welcome to this week's video blog. So I think it's safe to say that wherever you are, summer has officially arrived and chances are you're probably getting ready for your summer vacation. And with that goes packing and a lot of planning and what do you take and how are you going to travel. And so I thought this would be a great opportunity to share with you my style survival kit for when I'm traveling or on the road. And it's basically a couple of pieces that I've kind of figured out over the years that when I keep them together in a little sort of Ziploc bag are just absolute lifesavers for those wardrobe emergencies that can happen when you're away from home and you don't have the convenience of a seamstress or a dry cleaner or just the things that you have in your home to save the day. And you obviously don't have as many clothes at your disposal either, so it's not as simple as just grabbing something else out of your wardrobe. So my little survival kit will hopefully end up being as useful to you as it has been to me over the years. And the first piece that I wanted to show you and share with you is just a really basic sewing kit. Pretty self-explanatory, offers you a couple of different colors of thread, some needles, some pins, some spare buttons even, and even a little pair of scissors. And I basically just grab these from whatever decent hotels I stay at, because usually there is a sewing kit of some variety. So I just kind of have a stash of them here at home and use them until there's nothing left and move on to the next one. So if you don't want to take them from hotels or you haven't got a stash like I do, then these can be easily found in department stores, usually in the haberdashery section. Oh, I think sometimes even the grocery stores have them in certain departments. So a really obvious choice to take with you on your travels, but something that is just good to have to hand. And it's kind of compact and doesn't take up much room. So to add to that, and this I literally can't live without, is just to add a few extra safety pins. You'll usually get them in your sewing kit, but I always feel that it's good to have a couple more in different sizes. You just never know when your summer dress is gonna snap a strap and leave you hanging, so to speak. And having a couple of these to hand in your handbag or in your little kit just will save the day, because you can just do a temporary fix, with the safety pin until you actually have access to a needle and thread when you're back at the hotel or whatever, and you can do a more permanent repair. And again, even when you've got kids or whatever, just to have these to hand for any eventuality is just great and kind of a must-have. So definitely add a couple extra safety pins to your survival kit. And then again, adding on that or building on that, just some spare pins. Whether you need to do a hem that needs fixing and you need to take things up or keep things in place, just a couple extra pins, again, just gives you that peace of mind knowing that you're prepared. And when they come in a tiny little box like this, it doesn't take up any space whatsoever and perfect for travel. So definitely keep a couple extras to hand. And then this is probably my all-time favorite thing to take on the road with me, because I'm actually not a seamstress at all. I cannot sew to save my life. If I had it my way, I would probably staple everything back into position that ever came undone. But this is double-sided clear tape, and it's sort of specifically for wardrobe purposes. So whether you've bought some amazing dress or top that's got a fabulous deep plunge and you can't wear a bra and you kind of still want to keep what needs covering covered and you don't want to risk gaping and flashing people, a little bit of this stuff on the inside will work wonders. Or even on if you're not as daring as that, this stuff has rescued me so many times. I almost don't want to even admit. When I've had hems come out of skirts or dresses or actually shorts, that's happened to me a lot. I cut off a piece of this, stick it on the inside of the hem, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, my problem is solved, at least on a temporary basis. You're going to have to at some point take it off and probably get it properly repaired, because you don't want to pop things in the wash when this is stuck to it. But this for me is an actual lifesaver, because like I said, I am no seamstress, much to my mother's dismay. So again, this can be found in department stores, even sometimes in hardware stores, I've noticed, and bigger sort of grocery stores that have, you know, areas where you can find a wider variety of things. But this is just made by sellotape, and as I say, you're gonna, once you have this, you're not going to be able to live without it. So, double-sided tape. The next thing that I absolutely love to have with me while I'm traveling are these little stain remover wipes. This is made by Shout. You can see this one's been around for a while, but these are fab because, you know, inevitably you might spill something, drop something, or kids might touch you with grubby hands and you get a mark on a piece of clothing while you're away traveling. Maybe you don't have access to laundry facilities right away, or dry cleaners, and water just isn't going to be enough. So you don't want to have to worry that, oh geez, okay, I'm leaving the stain, and the longer I leave it, the worse it's going to get. And by having these little wipes available, obviously they have solution in them that will help to break down the stain until you can actually do a proper wash. So one tip though that I would say when you're using these, do a little test on an area of the garment that can't be seen, just on the off chance that there's some color bleeding. You don't want to ruin the garment completely where it's no longer even about the stain, but now the color has actually come away. So a little test spot is a good idea, especially on brighter colors, but otherwise these are great. These are really useful to have to hand. So get a stash of them and keep them in your style kit. The next piece, again, pretty obvious item, and that's your sticky lint roller. Again, you know, especially when you've got items that are darker in color and they get maybe covered in bits of fluff or lint, it's not a great look. So this is something super useful to keep to hand, and I promise you that even your other half is inevitably going to want to use it, so they will be thankful too. But what I would suggest, instead of taking a full-size one like this, go for the mini version. Mine is empty because, as you can tell, I use it a lot, and given that I've been traveling a lot lately to London and back, mine has gone with me and it's done the job. So I haven't even had a chance to replace it, but at least you can see that they do come in a mini version, so again it's more travel friendly, and but the purpose is exactly the same. So absolutely pick up one of these and put it in your kit. And then the last of the pieces that I actually want to show you, it's really simple, and that's just a good pair of little compact scissors, just for when you need them. Sometimes sewing kits will have a pair in, but they tend to be quite small and blunt, as you can see there. So a little pair like this, I find tend to do a slightly better job. Obviously don't put this in your hand luggage, and I wouldn't probably put the pins or the needles or the safety pins in hand luggage either, because you won't be very popular at airport security. Put it in your main luggage until you get to where you're going, and then you can assemble your little kit and you'll be good to go. So, and then the last thing, I don't actually have one to show you because I got rid of mine, but some people do quite like to travel with a little travel iron, just so that wherever they are, they have access to something and they can just kind of give their clothes a quick once over, and that's totally fine. Personally, I am as much of a fan of ironing as I am of sewing, and so hence why I no longer have my travel iron. I gave it away a long time ago. But if you feel like me that you don't want to lug something like that around, and yet you still want to, you know, keep your clothes looking good, try to pack things that travel well, so that are made of fabrics like jersey or chiffon or whatever, that don't crease very easily and that are kind of a little bit more travel resistant. Or otherwise, try hanging things up on a coat hanger when you're taking a shower, because then you can, oftentimes the steam will help to just get rid of the creases when you're out on the road. So another little insider tip from me. So hopefully this has been useful to you and something that you'll think about now as you're getting ready to travel. Put it together, these little pieces, and I promise you it'll give you a lot of peace of mind, and whether you're traveling alone or with the family. So If you want to see more of our video blogs, if you found this helpful, then hit the subscribe button on our YouTube page, because you'll be able to see our videos even earlier than everybody else. And if you would like your free copy of our amazing ebook, our style ebook with our top 10 all-round sort of style tips, then subscribe to our newsletter and you will be able to get your version of that book. I promise you it will change your life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!